Good morning, everyone. Brian Rhodes here. Hey, I hope all is right with all of you out there today. Well, I have to start out with an apology. I screwed up. Hey, I went and scheduled the release of the trailer for The Order of Things to Come for next Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, actually, September 25th, and it just happens to be the day on which we're releasing Hard Fork 20 Velocity. So, as opposed to asking them to reschedule Velocity, I thought maybe I should reschedule the release of the trailer. So that's going to happen a week later, October 2nd, roughly 11 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time, Toronto. Okay? So now that that's out of the way, I want to talk to you today about film festivals. We're well into selecting the film festivals that we want to submit the Order of Things to Come to. Now, there are a lot of things that we have to take into consideration, but let me tell you how we basically go about the process, okay? There are two online services out there available to us. One is Film Freeway. It's the newer service, has more film festivals, probably more dynamic. And the second one is Without a Box. It's owned by Amazon. It's older. It has fewer festivals, maybe a little less dynamic. So we're going to go with Film Freeway. And so far, I've identified 643 film festivals that we could submit to. I expect to identify, I'm going to say, and this is just in North America now, I'm going to say another 400. Now, so let's use roughly the number 1,000. Now, that won't include major film festivals like Sundance or TIFF or Cannes or the Berlin Festival, Venice Festival. Those are really not generally, well, at least I've never seen them listed with either Without a Box or with Film Freeway. With those, you have to apply directly. So that's sort of a sub-strategy that we'll be working on. I want to talk to you right now about the general strategy using Film Freeway. So because Film Freeway is an online service, it's keyword searchable. So I can find out a lot about a film by simply using those keyword searches. And I have to do a lot of research on each one. Let me tell you the things that I'm looking for. I have to find film festivals that will accept dramatic or narrative short films. I have to find film festivals that have a history of doing that, not something new the first time. So I'm looking for film festivals that have at least a 5, maybe 6-year history of accepting narrative short films. I also want to make sure that it's a film festival that accepts feature-length narrative films or dramatic films. And dramatic is a key word here. I'm not looking to submit the film to film festivals where they have, a higher prominence of horror films or genre films, so to speak. We want to stick to a specific narrative if we can. I also want to be able to find out with each of the film festivals that we want to work with, when is the event date, so we can actually strategize on a continuum all these film festivals specific times so we don't have a collision of efforts. And the reason for that is on those that we are going to be accepted to, we want to attend. That means us physically driving, flying, taking our train, whatever, to that film festival and staying for at least probably one night, okay? So we also, therefore, want to make sure that it's a film festival that has relationships, significant relationships with local media. New film festivals tend not to have that. Older film festivals tend to have that. But we're not even taking that for granted. We want to go back and look and see with those that we finally end up wanting to submit to the previous year's film festival and look in the local newspapers of that time, that day, to see what coverage they've had. So it's not a simple process in selecting the film festivals. Now, the fees in this case can be, the cost of going to can be pretty high. In the case of a submission, you better be pretty sure that you've got a chance of winning, because the fees can add up. If you're, shall we say, an early bird entry, then you're looking at probably somewhere around $25 to $35. If you're a regular entry, and that would be what would be assumed a regular deadline for entry, then in fact you're probably looking at, I'm going to say, $40 to $55. But if you're late or extra late, and there's a reason for that. I mean, if you're submitting late and the organizers are already, have started with the film festival, it's planning, advertising, promotion, everything else, they're going to have to bring somebody on board to handle your late submissions and whatnot. So there's an added cost to that. So it's obviously, it's a reasonable cost, but expensive, as I say, 60 to 80 bucks. So we have to be careful. We have to get in early. We have to mitigate those costs as much as we can. So we want to make sure we got a great chance of being accepted. What would be the percentage of acceptance? I would say I'd be really happy if we could get 10% acceptance of all of our submissions. All right, so 1 out of 10, and I'd be pretty happy. Now, why all of this? Well, 2TTC is not just a submission of a film. We're going to be billing this film, positioning it as the first worldwide a film that has been fully funded by rewards on the blockchain, or through rewards in the blockchain. Now, that's important. Therefore, we want to make sure that that includes fully funded marketing. So we'll be having a lot of posts through this process. What we ultimately want to be able to demonstrate after all this is done for filmmakers, in fact, anybody who's involved in the process of making film, that they can actually fully fund the making of the film, the marketing of the film, all costs relating to it, etc., through rewards on the blockchain. And the platform in this case we're promoting is Steemit. All right, so we're going to have a lot of these posts. 100% of these posts are going to be obviously going to cover all of those costs, so we can fulfill that objective, that goal of being fully funded right through the next year in how we submit to film festivals. And of course, we're going to need that help from you. Therefore, what we're going to do is try to mitigate costs as well in such areas as looking at film festivals close at hand first, maybe identifying Montreal, Toronto, and then the northern United States, maybe certainly Michigan, New York, Maine, maybe Connecticut, New Hampshire, maybe even Ohio, okay? But within relative travel distance, obviously, to those films, so we can get there in person. All right, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. I'm going to be blogging on this subject of film festivals and where we are at various points in time throughout the next roughly 14 months. Our first blogs about film festivals are going to start with SteamFest 3, where we'll have a screening. And of course, we'll have a lot of content from that I'll be posting with, be posting on my blog prior and after. And then beyond that, watch for a consistent number of blogs. And we'll identify all of those blogs where it's opposed to me yapping about something other than film. We'll identify all of those blogs by noting that 100% of all steam power and steam goes to the funding of the project. Again, we want to ensure that we can say and prove that this film will be totally funded by rewards on Steemit, okay? That's our goal. Want to make it clear? That's all I want to speak to today. So if you have any comments or questions, please do so. Comment on this blog. I'll answer every one of them. And until next time, you take care. Bye-bye.